So hi guys, welcome back to my vlog. I'm Belinda Murillo, and for today I'm going to discuss our topic, but before that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. What are you waiting for? Let's dig in. Chapter 2, Lesson 4, it talks about Filipino values and moral development. Under this title is Strengths and Weaknesses of the Filipino Characters. So first is let's dig in about strengths of the Filipino characters. The first strength is pakikipagkapwa-tao. This means kapwa-tao is a fellow human being, a basic sense of justice and fairness, concern for others, the ability to empathize with others. Filipinos are open to others and feels one with regard with other people with dignity and respect. A fellowship is a responding to need and interact with one another, to feel and need of a partner or a belong to a group. It is a deep human fellowship that depends on oneself. The ability to understand the feelings of others is to be sensitive on how they feel in a various situation they may face with, whether they're happy, sad, lonely, or angry. But with the use of pakikipagkapwa-tao, it shows that the empathy of people experiencing sadness have the effective way and meaningful of human interaction. Second is family orientation, the source of personal identity, emotional and material support. One's main commitment and responsibility. Family orientations is Filipino possess a genuine and deep love for family, which includes not simply spouse and children, parents and siblings, but rather also grandparents, aunties and uncles, cousins, and other ceremonial relatives. Filipinos are one's family with a source of personal identity, the source of emotional and material support, and one's main commitment and responsibility. It is concerned for the family of the manifested and the honor of respect given by the parents and also to the elders. In this care given by the children, the generosity towards kind and needed. It is a great sacrifice that one endures the welfare of the family. The sense of the family orientation may be result of the feelings of belongings and rootedness in the basic coping of mechanisms. The third characteristic is joy and humor. A cheerful and fun-loving approach to life. This means that Filipinos have a cheerful and fun-loving approach to life, whether it is ups and downs. Filipino has the pleasant disposition, a sense of humor, and propensity of happiness to contribute not only for Filipinos but also to other spirit that laughing ourselves and the mess we have an important coping mechanism that manifested the Filipinos' love for socials and celebration. So joy and humor is a one way of Filipino to show how they feel on and how the capacity to laugh the most trying of times. It is the appeal of a political satires or satires. The fourth one is flexibility, the adaptability and creativity. Resourceful and quick learners, accepts change, creative and cultural spare. Filipinos often have an aversion to set and standardized rules and procedures. They are known to follow a natural clock or an organic sense of time, doing things in a time they feel that is right. They are being present and oriented, which means that one attends the tasks or requirements at the time is needed and does not worry about future engagement. Flexibility, adaptability, and creativity. It allows Filipino to adapt and be flexible in doing the task at time, not bound to a particular schedule or time frame. It is allows them to think on their feet and have the creativity in facing whatever challenges or tasks they may have, even if it is already in front of them. And the fifth one is hard work and industry. To raise one's standards of living, possess the essentials of decent life family. It is having the capacity of hard work living to raise one's standards of living. With the resourcefulness comes into hard work. Filipinos are very determined and persevering in accomplishing whatever they set in their minds to. Filipinos over the years have proven time and time again that they are people with an industrious attitude and have the capacity to create and raise one's standards of living, and willingly to take risks with their jobs, going abroad and work there, not only one but 2 to 3 jobs. The result of that is having a productivity and entrepreneurships for some survival despite of poverty's facing. The sixth one is faith and religiosity. Filipinos have deep faith in God, enables to comprehend and genuinely accept reality. Religious expressions is very tangible, expressed every day. Filipinos have faith in God, accepting what is reality and comprehend as human created by God's will. Filipinos are the one who most faithful people in the world. Whatever our religious is, we remain faithful and we don't lose hope for a better tomorrow. And our faithfulness and hopefulness keep us kind, positive, and faithful to determine and achieve goals in life no matter what happens. That church in our minds, actions, and opinions of the majority is important of the sacraments, praying, and always possible of time. And the seventh one is faith and religiosity. Our faith enduring was manifested as recognized forces internal to ourselves as contributing. It is a reflection of Filipino strong faith in God are seen in the various practices that includes numerous church holidays and observed and customary and or obligatory Sunday masses of individual basis by moral standpoints. And lastly is the ability to survive. Filipinos have ability to survive, make do what is available in the environment. Filipinos as people who have been constantly under the rule of numerous powerful countries has over the time developed a sense of resourcefulness or the ability to survive with whatever they have. They have the extraordinary ability to make something out of almost nothing. A Filipino's given screwdriver, plastic bags, and some tapes, he will still be able to build a bird tree, especially for sake of survival, and provided that they allowed to hunt for some needed surrounding materials in order for them to feed themselves and not hunger in times of survival. Next one is let's talk about the weaknesses in the Filipino character. First is extreme personalism. View of the world in terms of personal relationship. Filipinos view the world in terms of personal relationship and the extent to which one is able to personally relate to things and the people determines the recognitions of their existence and the value given to them. There is no separation between the objective task and emotional environment or involvement. Thus, personalism is a manifested in tendency to give personal interpretations of actions. This is composed of compliment, criticism, and another complement. It is always trying to give personal interpretations in every actions. Next is extreme personalism. Difficulty dealing with all forms of personal stimuli. The third one is extreme family centeredness. Excessive concern for the family, lack of concern for the common goods. Filipinos views the world in terms of concern with the family of the one's Filipinos' greatest strengths. It is extreme becomes a serious flaw in which excessive concern for the family creates in a group to which Filipino is firstly loyal to the determinant of concern for the larger community or the common goods for it. It is manifested itself with the use of one's office or a power as a means of promoting the interests of one's family. Factionalism and political dynasty has the protections of erring family members as a result of lack of concern for the common good, and it acts a block of national consciousness. The fourth one is lack of discipline, manifest in casual and relaxed attitude, aversion for following strictly set of procedures. This means that Filipinos' lack of discipline encompasses several related characteristics. We have a casual and relaxed attitude towards time and space, which manifests itself a lack of precision and composiveness. In a poor time management and in procrastination, we have the aversions of following strictly rules and regulations that results in the lack of standardized and quality of control, which our Filipinos are impatient and unable to delay gratifications or be unworked, resulting that use of the shortcut methods instead of long-term methods. The fifth one is passivity and lack of initiative. Generally passive and lacking in initiative, strong reliance on others. This means that Filipinos are generally passive and lacking initiative. One waits to be told and one what to be done. There is a strong reliance on others, especially for our leaders and government to do things for us. This is related to one's attitude towards authority. Filipinos that need to be strong authority to figure out and feel safe and more secure in the presence of such authority, and generally submissive to those authority and likely to raise issues nor questions in precisions. Colonial mentality. Colonial mentality has made up two dimensions. The first is lack of patriotism, or an active awareness, appreciation, and love for the Philippines, and the second is an actual reference of things foreign. Filipinos culture is characterized by an openness to the output side, adopting and incorporating the foreign elements into our image of ourselves. And yet, this image is not built around a deep core of the Philippine history and a language. This results as a cultural weaknesses that makes Filipino extraordinary susceptible on the wholesale acceptance of modern mass cultures and often westerns. Thus, this is a preference for foreign fashions, entertainments, lifestyle, technology, and other customers' items not being adopted. 7 is Kanya-Kanya syndrome, a selfish, self-serving attitude that generates a feeling evident in a personal ambition. This means that Filipinos have a selfish, self-serving attitude that generates a feeling of envy and competitiveness towards one another, particularly one's peers who seems to have gained some status or prestige towards them. Filipinos demonstrate the so-called crab mentality, It is referring to tendency of a crab inside in the basket to pull each other's down, using the leveling instruments of chismes, intrigue, and other unconstructive criticisms that bring others down. There seems to be a basic assumptions to others to gain one another's lust. And lastly is lack of self-analysis and self-reflection. Filipinos to superficials and even somewhat flighty. This means that there is a tendency in the Filipinos to be superficial and even somewhat flighty. In the face of serious problems, both personal and social, there is a lack of analysis or a reflection. We tend to joke about the most serious matter, and this prevents looking deeply into the problem. There is no felt need to validate our hypothesis or explanation about a certain things. Thus, we are satisfied with superficial explanations and superficial solutions to every problems that we encounter. Filipinos emphasize on the form of rather than substance. There is a tendency to be satisfied in rhetoric and substitute for reality, that being empty, rhetoric, and endless words in a such part of a public life and right things. And these are my references about this topic. And lastly, thank you for watching and God bless you all.